Yeah. Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, everybody. This is Adam Houchins here with CrippleCast. We have CrippleCast number 4 with Parnell Adams here. So, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and thank our sponsors. Oh, hold on a minute. Jason, we got to move this camera. We got 2 feet of Parnell here.
That's on the star.
He's the star, that's right. All right. We're going to move him a little bit. Oh, look at that handsome face.
Yeah.
All right. I dig it. That works.
Face only mom can love.
Yeah, no shit. All right. All right, so I'm going to do a little thanking of our sponsors here. All right, so we got Atlas Labs. Chris Rowe has done some wild stuff with some 3D printing here in Petersburg, Indiana. He and I are going to partner up here shortly to do some prototypes for some adaptive equipment that I'm going to use to eat with. We got Made with Love and a few F-bombs. That is Tara. She's one of my caregivers. She's awesome. She makes some cool shit to go on my front porch. Let's see. We've got a Custom Mechanical Construction. They are out of Evansville, Indiana. If you need some commercial construction work done, they are your guys. Amber Manor Care Center. Looks like it's a nice place to die. That's for sure. Well, they will take care of your end-of-life care or just rehab, one of those things that they do, as well as the many things that they do.
Damn.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad place to die. Anyhow, we also have the Elmer Bukta Technology Center, who graciously lets me use their facility to record the CrippleCast. So, anyway, without further ado, I have Parnell Adams here. Thank you for joining me, Parnell.
Yeah.
Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk now, man. I'm all choked up after that intermittent over there.
What?
Whew.
It's not untrue.
Oh, I know, man. No.
So, I got Parnell Adams here. Back on track, Parnell.
Yeah.
I've got Parnell Adams here. He had an accident where he broke, what vertebrae was it, Parnell?
I had a brain trauma.
Oh, a brain trauma. So you're not even, that's right. Because a spinal cord injury. That's right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and tell us a little bit about that accident and let you tell your story here.
Yeah, well, January 25th or 26th, 2006, I was at work and a kid, an employee wanted some help, and so I went out between the grain bins and then the grain leg. You know what the grain leg is, real tall in the middle. He was working on it. He was replacing the belt and the buckets on it, and he needed me to put some pieces of steel with like rubber on the backing of it that holds the belt, lets the belt go around. Mm-hmm. He lowered a 5-gallon bucket. He's about 130 foot in the air, and he lowered a 5-gallon bucket, and he raised the 5-gallon bucket after I put it in there, and about 40 feet up, about the height of a grain bin, the bucket overturned, and he yelled at me. And so I looked up, and then a piece of that debris fell down and hit me in the head, went about 1.5 inches of my brain. My brains were all like blowed out of my head and stuff. So
Jesus Christ. Sounds terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't, you know.
And how old were you again, you said?
I was 21.
21.
I was, I got hurt, like I said, January, and then I turned 22 in March.
Okay. And so you got hurt. You were, laid out on the ground, brain splattered everywhere and shit. So what happened at that point?
Well, when I got hit, it didn't really feel like anything.
Were you all walking around like,
it felt like pressure, and I walked out of the little building.
I'm fine.
And I was like, well, that didn't hurt, and all of a sudden then I fell and I hit the ground, and the blood started pumping out of my head. I could feel it spew. You know how like horror movies you see where they get like some neck jab or whatever, and blood just starts pumping out? Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like coming out of the top of my head. And Is that what it looked like, dude? I couldn't see it. I was laying flat on my back, and I could feel the blood coming up around my ears because it was getting so deep. They said it was as wide as a man could spread his arms and about 2 inches deep. All the blood all around my head and stuff.
So they thought you were a goner for sure.
Yeah, and I couldn't talk, but I could hear. I could listen.
Awful. But
as they were, I had a woman took her shirt off out there and stuck her, shirt around my head and things. They all saved my life there. Luckily, the one of the women there, her husband was like an EMT or a fireman, and he kind of talked through it on the phone, and that's how they saved me. And then, like I said, I ended up going out in the ambulance, and next thing I know, I woke up like 11, 12 days later out of a coma.
Jeez. So you were in a coma for 12 days.
I was in a coma for 11 days, I think.
11 days in a coma.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember anything during that coma, like people talk about? You know?
Yeah, you could hear people talking.
Really?
Yeah. So first thing I remember, I don't remember a lot of the conversations, but when my nurses would come talk to me after I woke up, I remember their voices. So I knew which ones was coming around.
I see.
That's
strange.
At that time, I don't remember, can't recall it now, but I knew, who was messing around with who and who was not doing what they were supposed to be doing. So it was kind of messed up there, but.
So wow, that's wild. At any point, you knew you were in the hospital that whole time, like when you were in a coma?
No.
So you just you heard voices.
It was just dark. You just hear stuff, kind of. I remember. It's not that I could hear it then, but I remember when I woke up right away that I knew these people.
I see.
I mean, it's like I knew them, but I did not see their faces.
I see. And so at the time, you weren't with your wife. You have now.
No.
Okay. You have a girlfriend at the time?
I was engaged.
That's right. So what was that all like, being engaged and stuff, and then you get hurt? And, obviously we're not talking about her or anything. It's the situation itself. It's a hard situation for anybody.
It was all right. I mean, she was young. We were both young. She was a few years younger than me. But she let me know pretty well right away after about 3 months that, she couldn't handle it. No, it wasn't her cup of tea. Well, she couldn't handle it. So,
and that's okay. So it's not.
I'd rather somebody tell me
right
away than than to just try to be nice to me and hold off and let me get all out of there and get better than leave.
Yeah. And it's
false hope. So
when in a similar situation, it's like that's what I was in as well as I'm glad I got to go through all of that heartache all at the same time. Yeah. I broke my neck, but then I had to go through, losing my marriage as well. And I think it's easier to not have to go through multiple things at the same, separately, just to prolong the heartache and prolong the agony.
Get all the stuff over at once.
Yeah, so you can just move on with your
I'm already depressed, man. Just get it there. So when I get out, I can just worry about happiness and
Right.
And it was the best thing that ever happened to me, to tell you the truth, because my wife now is pretty well an angel. So she's takes care of me, does always we do a lot of stuff together. We got 3 kids together,
Yeah.
So I got an older son too from when I was younger. But, he's 21.
Oh boy, was he take care of old dad? Does he?
He actually lives in Vincennes. He was here yesterday though. He's out swimming.
All right. So let's see. Your accident happened. You went to RHI in Indianapolis.
Yes.
So that is a pretty nice rehab facility, the nicest one in our area that I'm aware of. They have pretty well everything you can ever do there. So what's up? Go through what it was like after your accident, and then you woke up in the hospital from the coma.
Well,
and did you see ever light at the end of the tunnels? Like you have a near death experience kind of thing, or
no? I did. It just went black. So, but I don't remember anything. So evidently, I didn't die. It went backward in shock. So, but I do remember one thing. When I woke up out of the coma, I was seeing stuff like crazy. And they say like once you've been close, you see stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to have this little boy like come in, and I was like,
we got to talk more about that.
Yeah,
light on me.
Talk more about that.
Yeah.
So I would have this it was always this thing. Little boy, it looked like kind of like Eddie Munster. He'd come in there, but he was just a young boy. Probably like 6, 7 years old. He would every once in a while he'd come in, walk through the door, come in. He had dark hair and everything. A little bitty, nice looking little boy, and a little t-shirt and stuff, jeans. And he would sit there and look at me, and it freaked me out. I couldn't move anything but my left wrist, and it freaked me out. So I'd get scared. I'd close my eyes, and I'd open my eyes, and he wouldn't be there no more. But every day for about a month, he would do that.
No.
And yeah, it was. And they told my mom was like, "Well, it's probably just the medicine that you're on and stuff." And I'm like, "No. This was I knew the difference between the medicine, because then when I told him I didn't want the medicine, he still came in."
That's great.
So I mean, I took it as maybe I was somebody that passed away in that room.
Could be.
But I was like,
"You believe in that kind of shit?"
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you believe in spirits and ghosts and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, I don't.
Before and after your accident, or
no, just not so much before, but after, yes, I do. And I don't try to talk to any spirits or nothing like that. I don't think
You're
you're
not
supposed
burning
to.
any
So
Ouija boards or anything.
No,
Let's
you're not
make us a
supposed
Ouija board. And,
no,
No.
come on, man. What?
We're not doing
I'm
it.
scared.
We're not doing it.
I'll print one. Print me a Ouija board and make one here out in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, that's CrippleCraft, making Ouija boards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
CrippleCraft
great.
Ouija boards.
That's great.
I go to church, and the Bible says you're not supposed to talk to friendly spirits, so try to leave that stuff alone.
You're not supposed to talk to friendly spirits?
I don't think so.
Well, I don't want to talk to the bad ones.
No, they call them friendly spirits in the Bible.
Yep, Casper was actually.
The friendly.
He's
spirits,
the
yeah.
friendliest ghost I know. It's true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, his uncles weren't.
I guess that's true. Those other three. Yeah. Anyway, the other three ghosts. So, all right. Continuing with your recovery, because we're gonna get past this, and I got some other shit I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So, your recovery. You got hospital. Wake up. You're boom. 12 days. 11 days out of coma.
Yeah.
11 days out of coma. Boom. What happens then?
So, the only thing I could move when I came out of coma was my left wrist. So I went from, I think I went from 182 pounds to 98 pounds. I was nothing, Well, then when I went to RHI, they moved me to RHI about the 21st day in the hospital.
Yeah.
But then after that, I started, going to RHI and slowly got my right arm working again, and my left arm was working really good. So, and then he just normal physical therapy there for for almost a year, all the way to like November, and then I came home because I got kind of homesick.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
Oh, I know what you mean.
But then I started going back and forth and stuff.
Well, I chose not to go to RHI just because of the drive.
Yeah.
And ended up going to Evansville, and honestly, they got a real nice spot there.
Yeah.
But it's brand new.
Yeah.
And that's why probably when you had the opportunity, when you went through your all your stuff, you didn't have an opportunity to go there. It
Yeah,
didn't exist.
I was inpatient. I was already in Indianapolis when
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
so I was in Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis.
That makes
They
sense.
pushed me right to there.
So, you were there for how long?
I don't know, probably 6-7 months the first time, and
Mm-hmm.
then I started going inpatient or outpatient there. I would go there 2 days a week, and I would stay in a hotel across the way from it.
Yeah.
And with my mother, and
Gotta love that.
I did that. I did that for probably 2.5 years on and off.
Yeah.
Then I did do some. In the middle of the time, I stopped going there, and I went to Health South in Evansville. Is that where you went?
No, I went to like I said, it doesn't exist back whenever you were going through, but it's actually at the new YMCA downtown Evansville.
Okay, cool.
And they've got I don't know what they call it. It's like a specialty clinic that takes care of people with spinal cord injuries or disabilities and need specialty rehab with occupational physical therapists.
Yeah.
They're great down there. I'm going to have them on the show eventually to talk to them. I don't know. I'm going to have a couple, random shows with, people that were part of my recovery as well. Probably when I run out of cripples or something. I'll just figure something out. I don't know. But anyway, so you went for a couple of years, and so it took you how long to get to where you are now?
As good as I am now.
Yeah,
probably,
as good as you are now.
As good as I am now, probably maybe 4 years ago. Because even when I was racing, after my accident, my legs were always locked together and things, and my right arm was really stiff and stuff. I couldn't really hold it up. So I get better. It seems like I get better every year, a little bit.
And that's what the difference is between you and me. Is like your brain can. I mean, I don't know, it heals itself, but
Yes.
like I said, you're doing better every year. Like I guess. I don't notice it. People go, I see you got more movement, things like that. I don't really notice it, I guess.
You won't notice it a little at a time, but
Yeah.
because it just comes out so slow.
Yeah.
Nerves, they don't grow back. It's like they grow like an inch a year or something like that.
I'm not correct measurements here.
Yeah, no.
But
But they will
Very
go back.
little
They
bit
find the nerds try to find new pathways.
If they ever find them.
Yeah. My brain's so screwed up though, and it was bad.
Yes, that's not bad. So, all right. So, basically, also what CrippleCast is about is like, talk about the shit that you're still doing.
Yeah.
So, before your accident, I know you were did sprint cars?
No, I did derbies.
Derbies. Okay. So derbies before. When did you do any did you do any racing after, you said?
I owned a racing team.
Yeah.
And my uncle Stan Beatles raced for me. We owned Oklahoma Modified, a big stacker trailer and stuff. Has a lift in it, had a bathroom in it, and a shower and everything in it. And another guy raced a pure stock for me for a while, and then I put a hand control in my pure stock, like street stock, and raced it a few times. I actually barrel rolled it down the backstretch at Chandler Raceway one night after my accident. So it was fun. Go about 100 mile an hour barrel.
Some would argue that you're not very smart for getting back in a car after all that shit, but
that's raising on brain trauma.
I didn't claim you were smart though, did you?
No,
that's all right. Me neither.
Well, I was derbying before that. When I derbied after my accident too, I built a hand control with a buddy of mine, and I just got done working on a derby car the other day. I sold it all, so.
Well, that's cool. So, you have any intention of driving a derby car again?
No, I don't think so. I still have my hand control just in case I want to do it, but I don't want to. I figured, I got too much, to look forward to take care of my kids and stuff. I don't need to cheat death anymore and stuff like that. I can help other people to want to do it.
Yeah. No, you got hurt working. Did they get you an insurance claim, or did they?
I got an insurance claim over it. It was a lawsuit I had to go through. Didn't want to sue anybody, but I just
at this point you don't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. So
it's not personal.
My bills were racking up, and it was like, man, I went from making good money to nothing. And it's very hard to. They had to think about having a kid already, and already,
I know exactly what you mean.
If it had just been me, it probably wouldn't have done it. But it was like thinking about my kid.
Mm-hmm. And so for people that don't know how this works, that you got to pay for your medical bills out of all that too.
Yes.
So it's not like you get cut a check and then you're a freaking millionaire. Some people are, but you got to pay for your medical bills. You got to pay for all of your care, everything at your house, everything you possibly need, and money goes quick. Medical expenses are expensive.
Yeah, they called me the $6 million man. I think is what they said, because I had so much medical bills. A lot of they let the insurance company absorbed a lot of the.
Yeah.
That was part of the lawsuit. They absorbed a lot of the medical bills that were previous to to the lawsuit, which was great. But anything after that, I had to make what's called a Medicare set aside account. So anything to do with my brain injury, I have to pay for out of pocket. Anything to do with any type of other sickness that's not due to my brain injury, a Medicare will pay for.
I see. Okay, so that was part of the lawsuit.
But it's a nightmare to try to keep it
separate
because Medicare's always like he's got his own account. We don't pay for this. And I'm like, yeah, I got to call him like this isn't part of it.
Right. Like
yeah.
Your brain has to do with every portion of your body.
Yeah.
So that's fucking criminal. That's criminal, man. Yeah. It's a problem. Like I was talking about this with another guy. They can try to keep you down. They got their fucking thumb on us, man. I don't like it. I'm trying to make that walking man money again, and they're holding me down, keeping me from thriving as an individual. I mean, I was a walking man 2 years ago, so why should I be treated any differently? Why should I have to,
It's way easier to make a living walking.
Well, yeah,
we don't realize, and a lot of people that are walking don't realize, how hard and difficult it is. But I want people to know you can do anything that you set your mind to.
Oh yeah.
It's just going to take. You're just going to have to think about it a while. You're going to take a little bit to do it.
I don't know about anything.
Take longer.
Like I can't pee standing up no more.
I can't do that either. So I'm making something.
Yeah. So it's like I can't do anything. But
I mean, you can do.
It's like, what I also think is bullshit.
We're hurt. We're not dead.
Yeah. But I also think it's bullshit when parents tell their kids they can do anything, because that's not fucking true.
No,
let's just get real. My buddy Jason over here was never going to be in the NBA. Just like,
What makes me
crush my dreams.
What makes me the maddest is when somebody says, when you're going through a rough time and somebody that's walking and they're like, hey, I know how you feel. And you're like, no, you don't. Well, if anybody does, I know. I'm like, no, you don't. I know. Thanks for trying to cheer me up, but you don't. And my wife doesn't do that. She's like, my wife kind of kicks me in the butt, like, hey, your arms work. You can do the dishes. You know, I mean, like, take some responsibility. You can do this. You can do your laundry. You can do this. You're a lot worse shape. There's people in a lot worse shape than you.
Yeah, they're like, you left my house the other day, and she was probably like, now look at him. Look how fucked up he is.
I was here trying to offer to do your laundry. So.
Yeah, he's over at my house trying to do shit for me. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Go do something else. Like, don't patronize me. I got slaves for this. Yeah, like, you get out of here. You're a guest.
I'm trying to make some
now get out.
Try to lock him in the garage.
Yeah, no, that's right. Alexa, open up the Sally Port man door. Get out of my house.
I wouldn't kill that spider for him though.
Fuck that, man. Like, yeah. The funny thing is, he leaves my house. His wife comes back and, hey,
No.
he said there's a spider in your garage. Would you kill it? And I said, no, it'll be all right. So
you really wanted her to, though, didn't you?
I did, kind of. And
It bothered him.
I did, kind of. And then one of my slaves took care of it.
She killed the spiders for me.
Well, it was a big fucking spider.
Yeah, a big wool spider.
I'm not interested.
We got big brown recluse spiders in my house.
No, thank you.
Upstairs, man. So.
Oh man, that's a
No,
whole other
thank
thing. I mean, I don't even know how you get away from one of those. Like, can they outrun
Run.
And,
Faster than, faster than...
telling us to run.
That's what I mean. I mean, can you outrun?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. What am I supposed to do? How do I get away from it?
Especially if they're in bed with you and you're in there.
No,
Great.
Look, man, we're not talking about this.
I'm so sorry, Adam. That's horrible, man.
Just keep your eyes closed and your mouth closed.
You're a real piece of shit. I hate them so bad, dude. They're just... Could you... I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like you're right in your bed.
Yeah.
Oh, there's times when I'll be laying in bed, like, I don't really feel like maybe 15% of my whole body.
Right.
So, like, I feel something on my shoulder, like... What the fuck?
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Hey,
Yeah,
let me tell you something really funny.
Well, yeah.
So when I first got out of RHI and I came home, they put me so I lived in a trailer growing up, and they put me in so my wheelchair wouldn't fit in any of the rooms, my old rooms or nothing.
Yeah.
I had to move back in.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't living with my fiance no more and everything. So I moved back in. So they put me a full size bed in the living room. Okay, I put it up against the wall and stuff. So one day I was, and I could feel everything. I could still feel everything through my body. And one day I felt something between my, I was 22 or 23, 22 at the time. I felt something between my legs. And I'm like, what is that? It was like, really? So I reached my hand down there, the one hand that worked, and I put my hand against it. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? Weird. It's kind of smaller than my hand. All of a sudden I felt a heartbeat in it. I'm like, oh
Get
no!
the fuck out of here.
So I said, oh no. So I started screaming at my parents. This was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I thought I had a mouse in bed with me.
That was your dick?
That's where it's headed, right?
No, mouse there.
No. I thought I had a mouse in bed.
Hey there, little guy.
I thought I had a mouse in bed with me. So I started screaming at my parents. And all of a sudden they pulled the cover back and it was my miniature pincher between my legs.
Oh, no shit.
I had a hold of his paw.
Jesus Christ. I thought I was
Like
going
crazy.
away there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
No, I said I could still feel them in my body. I'd known if it was myself.
What about your dick, though?
Yeah, I feel that.
Fuck you, motherfucker. Show off.
Yeah.
Everybody gets asked this.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody gets that question, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so...
stop eating.
So I can stand up still. I just don't have any balance. My legs shake
Really?
like crazy. Yeah, I can't walk or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I can walk in parallel bars, but my legs are shaking, so I look like Elvis across there.
Hey, you can look like worse people. I love
Since
those.
my baby left me. No.
That's right.
Here we go.
So, all right, you had, your accident, you've moved on, you got married. Okay, no, you're talking about meeting your wife. So how'd that go down?
I went to school with her and everything.
Right.
And but no, I had the girls coming in and out of the house once I moved to my new house, and I had girls coming in and out of the house all the time. Got to where I finally could tell that they were just using me, but it's like I had a few of them come around and they liked me beforehand, but I had a fiance was pretty faithful to her, so I always no, you can't I don't want nothing to do with you. And but afterwards, they all those girls started coming around, and they'd stick around for like a month, and then they'd leave. They'd still want to be friends with me, but it was like they wanted the thrill of the guy that they used to want to be with. And then once they realized, hey, it's not that guy anymore, I don't really like this, they would go.
Yeah.
And they're still friends, and everything. Some of them. Now, there's one girl that came around, and she was really beautiful and everything, man. And I finally realized that she was there just because I got Lortabs at the time, and she wanted my Lortabs. And when I wouldn't give them to her, she's like, "No, I don't want you to do no more." I'm like, "Dude, you're here because you're a pill popper and you want my medicine."
So there's a lot of them bitches like that.
That's pretty fucked up.
But after that, I decided after quite a few girls left me, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do anything with any girls anymore. I'm just going to go have fun with my racing career. We're racing all the time, all these different tracks, winning all the time, winning a points championship and all that stuff. And so I waited about 2-3 months, and finally I thought to myself, I'm going to try to talk to some girls. So I got on Messenger, and the first person I seen was my wife, now Amberly, and I said hey to her, and she said hey back. And what was crazy, I think she had to tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I think the day I messaged her was like the year to the day of her divorce being final.
Oh man!
So it was like and then we went on a date. So it went from a bad ordeal, to a happy thing.
Yeah.
So I went and picked her up. She spent the night. We watched a movie. What did we watch? Gosh dang it! What's it called? Keanu Reeves. A long time ago.
Speed.
Matrix.
Oh.
Matrix. We watched the Matrix. And we watched that, and then I took her home the next day, and I wanted her to take her to the races, okay? Mm-hmm. And she said, I got to go with my mom and everything, And I was like, all right, so she had plans, so I took her home to her apartment, dropped her off, and I went to the races. And the whole time at the races, I was so depressed. I knew I loved her already. And I was like, man, I didn't even want to be there. And we won that night, and my aunt, which is my uncle, his wife, she asked me, she goes, we all won. We was all celebrating, winning the race, and I just like down, and she's like, you don't even want to be here, do you? I'm like, no, I don't. She was just go get her. I'm like, it's late. It's like 1:00 in the morning.
Go
so
to her.
I went and got her the next morning, and she's never left the house since.
I'll be damned.
That's cool.
You said, I believe I'll keep you, girl. And she never left.
She never left.
Yeah, I'll be damned if she's looking for a place to live anyway.
No, she's a good person.
No,
really
I'm just kidding. I think obviously my sister moved into her parents or where she grew up. So
yeah,
that same place where I snapped my neck.
Yeah, my boys. I got pictures of my boy in that pool and stuff. So yeah,
and he didn't break his neck.
No, he didn't. No.
Good for him.
Good. I've never been in that pool though.
Well, my sister said,
"Jump in and hope you float."
My sister said that she concreted in if she didn't have kids.
Really?
They would concrete the whole thing in.
After that accident?
Mm-hmm. They would have done it the day after if they could have.
Yeah, it ain't the pool's fault.
No, it's my goddamn fault. I'm the one that did this. It's not anybody else's fault.
Yeah.
But if there's anybody to blame, it's me. Because I was the one that was, I was in control. But it's, it was a fluke. It was an accident.
Yeah.
Just like that guy that dropped that bucket.
Yeah.
Hit you in the head. He didn't do that shit on purpose.
No.
And I bet he thinks every fucking day of his life about you. I guarantee you.
He actually never came and seen me.
Well, then he's a piece of shit.
But he's dead now.
I apologize. Just because he's dead doesn't mean he's still a piece of shit.
He was, I actually saved his job like 2 days before that, and then, okay, wait. But he was a good dude. He really was.
Yeah.
I think he was told not to come see me.
Oh, I'm sure at that one point, I'm sure he was.
But no,
because of legality things.
I got his phone number and I called him a few years ago, and he's on the phone for maybe about 5-10 minutes, and I could tell he just didn't really want to talk, so we got off phone.
No, that's too bad. Well, and some people can't.
But we really got along. I think it really affected him because we were really good friends at work.
I'm sure. Well, I had an accident when I was walking, man. I was a construction worker, and I made a mistake in which I dropped something and injured somebody. And it wasn't like he had died or nothing, but I set the plate on a top of a stair, like there was a mezzanine, so second floor, like piece of machinery on this big metal structure. So I've got the stairs, and I'm putting a piece of stainless steel plate on top of this landing. Well, nobody's supposed to be in there. Got red tape up, all that shit. I know, yeah, I think I got red tape. It doesn't matter. Basically, this guy wasn't supposed to be in there, and I dropped that plate through this fucking hole, and it caught him across the mouth. And I couldn't do anything about it. It was an accident. A complete fluke, but I came down there, he's gushing blood out of his fucking face, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he's like, it's cool, man. I shouldn't have been down there. I'm like, no, it's not fucking okay. This is terrible. And so, oh my God, I was mortified about it. I was like, I'll lose my job. That's no problem. I mean, rightfully so. You know, I was not upset about it. I got in trouble for telling the truth. Yeah. I got in trouble for admitting that I did something wrong. Yeah. Like, even though it was an accident, and somebody got injured.
Your way of setting morals.
I was supposed to. Whenever the safety guy showed up, he said, "Keep your fucking mouth shut. Never admit to anything." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "I'm just trying to be a nice person here, like a legitimate person. Like, I made a mistake. I hurt someone, and I want to, you know, what I got pissed off about was that I didn't even get in trouble."
Did you see the Lowe's worker that got in trouble for recording him being held hostage
at Lowe's?
Yeah,
as an employee, employer held him hostage.
He delivered something to some house. And there was a lady who said, "No, you're not leaving for whatever reason. The plumber's coming or something." But he was like, "Hey, I've got to go," and he ends up like forcibly leaving the house. But Lowe's fired him for uploading that video.
I believe that. Yeah. Well, I mean, if he wanted to keep his job, they shouldn't upload a video. Truthfully, he shouldn't have. He should have been. They should have worked out something with him. You know,
so they're trying to sue him now, I guess.
Well, they should have taken care of him, in the first place.
Yeah.
But he probably released the video because they were. I mean, who knows why he released the video? But looking from the out, just hearing that, I'm thinking, well, yeah, he's gonna get fired for releasing the video. That's looks bad on it. Yeah. So, I kind of look bad on the lady, I guess. I don't know. But I could see how he would get fired for sharing that. Yeah, I don't think it's right necessarily, but it is. Anywho, what were we talking about there? Oh yeah, yeah. So you got your girl. You got how many kids you got with her now?
I have 3 kids with her, and I have 1 kid from my first girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. And so he lives in Vincennes.
Yes.
And is he in high school or
no?
He's 21. That's right.
21.
What's he do?
Yeah, I don't even know what his job is right now. So
just working.
He's just working,
being a man, doing things.
Yep.
All right. So what kind of you got? Okay, so now you're not going to normal racing, but what are you going to do now? What's your plan? What do you got going on that you want to do for the future here?
Like we were talking before, I think I want to. Pretty sure I'm starting to clean out my shop. I got a nice 40 by 40 machine shop, and it's got a heater and everything. I'm going to end up putting an air conditioner in there, 2 central air in it, and everything. And it's all insulated. It's got every tool you could imagine in it pretty well. And then I'm going to try to get some more tools, the ones that are missing, from years and years of derbying. And I'm going to try to open up get it all cleaned up and open up like a nonprofit for people like us that can go learn how to learn a craft or basically learn that they're not useless and worthless in life. And there's a lot more that we can still do in life. So that's what I want to try to do. I mean, I can weld. I weld and I use cutting torches and plasma cutters and I use grinders and all kinds of stuff. And like I build. I'm still a diesel mechanic, and a fabricator and everything. So my garage is all set up for that. I have a lift in my car lift in my garage and walking in my car lift and stuff. And,
nice.
But and then like I said, I have like almost 20 acres. I live on almost 20 acres, wow. And I have like a 2-acre pond. So I would kind of like to, I need to get it fixed. It's starting to, the overflows, I paid to get the overflow fixed and it lasted like a month and then it started leaking even worse. So it's
what's wrong?
The overflow washed out. So it's down, pretty soon it's going to be empty, I think. But so I'm going to try to get it, save some money up. I'm going to get it fixed in the way I want to do with it. I want to get the overflow fixed. But then
when I drain it into the overflow?
It's actually going underneath the overflow, so it's weird. When you put the stuff in,
it's like going into the overflow. It's going in the ground.
Yeah,
it's just
so
dissipating.
So this is a different type of most overflows that I've ever seen. or just a piece of covert or something sticking, and then go on, and then go down the backside of the dam. This overflow, they put a when they built the dam, or they built the dam or whatever, the levee, they put a concrete slab in, and they put a piece of a covert in, and the covert runs down at an angle and then goes out to the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and then they put another piece of covert in, and it goes up to the top, and it's kind of hidden. So the only thing you see is a little piece of covert at the top and a little piece of covert coming out at the very bottom.
I got you.
So it's out of the way. So it rotted off.
Mm-hmm.
So he put a different big piece of covert in, and he just set it on top of the concrete slab down there. So when he put the dirt all around it, the dirt sort of washing in. It washed out of that concrete slab instead of going in a little. So it was a little piece of covert. He took a big piece of covert over it, and
So
started
just-
washing out and washed the dirt all out and made a cavern, and it sunk in, and now it's just slowly
That's just a
going out.
sinkhole.
Now it's a sinkhole over
That's
there.
dumb.
So I got to get it fixed. I'm gonna get it fixed like a normal one.
Right.
Plug
You
it
said-
all up.
At your lake, you wanted to do a fishing thing, right?
Yeah, I want to do like where people like us and stuff can go over and fish and have a place to do stuff like that. 'Cause it's like 2
That's a
acres.
pretty good idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And I was telling you on the phone, I think there's a gentleman in Evansville that does that. It's called
Really?
Kyle Capon. And he does something similar,
Mhm.
where he takes people with disabilities and the kids with disabilities, and he takes them fishing.
That's cool.
I think it's like a one-time-a-year thing, but that's something kind of neat. You might want to reach out to somebody like him and see how they do things and see what the ins and outs are. I mean, he'd be glad to talk to you about something like that.
Yeah.
So
There's a ton of fish. There's crappie from your fingertip halfway your elbow in there.
Nice.
But it's
How's it going to work with like trying to get somebody doing something like Adams got out there?
you can there's a lot of flat area out on one side of it, and then the other side of it's got another place where you pull right up there. So it's basically really already nice for that. And I'm also gonna from up my house. Because it's in between my mom's house and my house, so I built my mom's house on the back of the property back there after I got hurt and everything.
Should be like a ramp or something.
So I'm going to build what I want to do is I want to get a piece of equipment and from my house, kind of build it like a little, just not rock or anything, just like dirt. Build a better slope to build for other people like us who can get down there.
it'd be nice.
He just needs to get my track wheelchair.
I'd love to. If I got 10 grand, if I could spend the money on this project, maybe I would.
Tracks. We're going to put tracks on it.
He's always got a track chair.
I got a track chair that I'm
Really?
selling. Yeah,
They're pretty gnarly.
but I can get on a 4-wheeler still, so I can get a 4-wheeler. Or I'm gonna get me a 4-wheeler.
Nice.
But
So as okay, so you want to do your fishing thing. You got your shop.
yeah.
Anything else you got going on coming up that you
Other than cleaning and getting everything ready and getting all the stuff that's been left behind for years and years of guys and people coming over, and doing things. I'm trying to get that stuff ready, and I'm gonna clean out and I'm gonna bleach all my concrete floor and reseal it and stuff.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
make
it'll be
it
a nice
in
spot.
there. And getting that all done, and if a guy comes over, and says, hey, every once in a while I get a guy that wants to figure something out with a derby car or something. I have so much knowledge in racing and everything, and building engines and stuff.
So, we were considering putting like one of those Predator motors on Adam's wheelchair. So this sounds like the perfect place to do that.
Absolutely.
Mine's got 2 big electric motors in it with I think 2 or 4 batteries on it.
Let's do demo wheelchairs. Why not?
Well, I thought. Well, I'm planning on building one soon.
Right.
Here in the next year, but all in the process.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, you got your shop getting ready to come up. Everything's going to be, tip top shape here soon. Is there, if you could talk to somebody that that maybe they find themselves in your situation at some point, what's the best advice you could give to them as to, what could you do if they find themselves in your situation?
First of all, if you find yourself in our situation, is don't take your frustrations out that you have on yourself and the limitations you have on somebody that's trying to be nice to you, because there's a lot of people out there that don't have anybody that's there to help them in the first place. And so I know we have bad days and things like that, and we're not what we used to be, or sometimes if you've been in this situation your whole life, you still should be thankful that you have people coming around that are trying to help you and
Absolutely.
and do things for you. Next is, don't give up on yourself just because. You might not be able to do it like you used to, but you can find other ways to do it. Like me, I never thought I could run derby cars again after my accident and stuff. But my wife taught me anyway. If you don't try it now with your hand control, build a hand control and do it now, you're going to regret it the rest of your life. So she taught me into it, and she probably wish she wouldn't have taught me into it because I spent so much money on it. But I did that, and so just about anything you set your mind to, you can do, and it's just not a thing. I mean, I'm saying if you can physically do it, you can do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not saying everybody can go run a derby car, stuff. But if you could physically drive a car, you can race. You can do things like that. And there's so many. You don't, like on the racing situations, don't feel like, I don't want to be a burden on people, because the people that are watching you and your competitors, they love seeing you go out there and do that more than them even in their cars.
Right.
They will be there to help you and stuff like that. So anybody that's like interested in doing stuff like that, go for it. Don't be scared.
Do you think they take it easy on you in a race?
No, they don't take it easy on you.
Good, they better not.
No, they don't. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's horseshit.
But I lost track of thought what I was saying, but don't worry about getting hurt because we're already hurt. So I mean, like I always say, I'm hurt, I'm not dead. So you got to continue living, not just It's like, and the more stuff you do, you stay healthier and you're mentally healthier. And our biggest problem is not physical; it's the mental aspect of the deal, and getting depressed. And it's very easy to get depressed, and it's hard to get where you're back to normal. So, the more things you do, and the more things you enjoy in life, things go smoother, and you have a happier life. And the more happier you are, and the more you want to do, the more people want to be around you. So
that's true. You
can't expect people to want to be around you, be happy around you if you're a turd all the time.
That's true.
Don't be a turd.
Don't be. No. All right. Don't be a turd.
Yes.
All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Parnell, thank you very much for joining me today on CrippleCast. Parnell Adams, everybody. This is Adam Houchins with CrippleCast signing off. Thank you guys very much. Talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.